Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Smite Pro League. Adonis, joined by Brandon for the conclusion of Week 4.
It's Week 4?
Yes, we're almost halfway done.
I know. That's actually kind of crazy.
I mean, honestly, at the end of next week, that will have been the entirety of the summer split. And right now, I mean, there's no even clear fourth-place team in North America, at least. That's how close
Maybe not
this
even
is.
Europe. I mean, both are very contentious right now. Let's take a look at the schedule for what we have lined up for you today.
First up, it will be Paradigm taking on Dignitas. Paradigm currently sitting at second in the leaderboards. Dignitas at 6th. After that, it's going to be Fnatic versus LC, Team Solo Mid versus Enemy, and we're going to be closing out the day with Cloud9 taking on Team Eager.
Now, starting off the day here, we're going to be going, like you said, into Paradigm versus Dig. Now, Paradigm going into this should be the victor here. Dignitas has been known to upset. Paradigm looking a little bit weaker than they did in the previous splits. So I'm interested to see what we're going to find in the picks and bans.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually looking at it, and just recently, Nuwa has had a big rise, and Paradigm are one of the ones who have really adopted it. They've actually picked it up in the past 6 games. I expect that to be coming out. As well as, you know, Paradigm, they struggled early, but they've been bringing it back. Both these teams actually suffered a loss last week and a win, but I think Dignitas' win a little bit more important. They actually traded out with Fnatic 1-for-1, and it was... Paradigm who traded out with Titan.
Which was insane.
Yes.
That was probably the best set we've seen.
It was really awesome.
It was a 15-1 stomp and then a 14-0 shutout.
That was like one of the few shutouts I think we've ever seen.
If any, if at all.
Yeah, let's take a look at Team Dignitas, though, headed by their mid laner, ShadowNightmare.
See, I'm a big fan of ShadowNightmare. I think a lot of this roster is a little strange. It feels like they have a lot of hot and cold days, but ShadowNightmare for me is extremely consistent. Always does a ton of damage. His control is amazing, and his god pool is huge. The dude is a superstar.
And this roster has been together since the beginning of Season 2. They've stuck around. While they haven't had much success, they've still remained in the Pro League. They've shown themselves to be one of the top 8 teams in Europe. The only roster swap they have made was Youngbay for iRens coming into this fall split.
But they're going to be going up against Paradigm today, long-standing roster now. Ever since they made a few swaps, grabbing Xaliea and Funballer, the core trio of QvoFred, Lawbster, and Trixtank look to make their world appearance happen by getting to land first, of course.
Yeah, and I mean, this team, a little bit, I don't want to say struggled, but they want to go to Worlds.
Struggled.
I mean, at the end of Season 1, they actually fell to SK Gaming, now Fnatic, and who they thought was the best team in Europe at the time. But they thought they were the second best, but they were on the same side of the bracket, unfortunately, weren't able to qualify into Worlds. So this time, they've been at the top of Europe for the past couple splits, and right now sitting at the top of Europe for the fall split here, tied with Titan for second.
That's true. All right, so we're going to be getting to the game here in just a second. Dignitas needs wins here, right? They have to win here to make sure that they can... And we're back. Oh, no, we're not. Picks and bans, Dignitas will have option.
Dignitas here looking to ban out. They typically focus a lot of supports in their banning phase, and this is really all of Europe. They like to take out the Ares and Ymir, but it's going to be Serket taken out first. This god basically screaming they don't want a first picker, especially with a lot of the healers being very strong right now. Khepri available. You can't just leave Serket on the board if you don't want a first picker.
What I think is funny about Serket is she's considered like first pick, first ban material at all points, and then for 2 weeks, everyone's like, no, she's bad. And then after 2 weeks, someone goes, look at this, I played Serket, and I'm a troll, and I'm funny, and then like, oh my god, that's really OP, we should ban that
and then
every
Blink.
game.
It's Blink too, right? It's
right.
just like Blink Serket is just, there's no stopping it.
There's always
so
something
strong
that someone finds to bring her back into the meta.
And it seems to have worked. Khepri going to be banned out by Paradigm. Team Dignitas going to be taking out Aphrodite, leaving Hell on the board as the other main healer in Smite. We'll see if they elect to try and focus pick that, but it's a little bit risky to pick it early in the draft.
I would like to see variety, maybe even go into Ra here, depending on...
Ra is one of his better gods, at least from Season 1.
What I would like to see is maybe the Ra, depending on the counter pick matchup, or they have to force Paradigm into something, and we are going to see a Hell ban. Of course, Khepri taken out as well. Paradigm assuming that Team Dignitas will have a Khepri, as most supports should at this stage.
First pick coming through, Ao Kwang receiving some nerfs in the last patch just for this week 4. Team's not valuing him as much. Janus is going to be locked in for ShadowNightmare. That's a smart pickup. That's all you have to say about that.
Yep, this is my favorite god for ShadowNightmare. His movement is insane. It's extremely hard to kill him. He always does a ton of damage. Great pickup here. Paradigm has options. I would imagine this is Wukong.
Sun Wukong, his power in the soul lane with that Bluestone Pendant, it's almost unmatched right now. You could see teams really starting to focus him, and a great call coming out. Sun Wukong going to Xaliea. And Xaliea already was one of the few players who loved Sun Wukong and picked him up quite often in the draft. And now that he's only been buffed basically through Bluestone, he has moved up to be worthy of that first pick position.
And it's funny because Xaliea is not someone we know as like a warrior player, right? You know, we saw him play Vamana a lot, but aside from that, it was, you know, generally a lot of assassins, sometimes mages. Having him get that Sun Wukong and early makes it very dangerous for Dignitas to pick into it, especially when you're talking about the Variety versus Xaliea matchup, which is historically in Xalia's favor.
I mean, most matchups in Soul Lane for Europe are in Xalia's favor, to be fair. QvoFred going to be playing Thor, giving some global presence to Paradigm. Dignitas looking to respond here. They could elect to have their Soul Laner picked up quite early, considering that they know the Sun Wukong is going to Xaliea. But actually, at the same time, I mean, this could, we're talking about it being Xaliea, but this could be Trix. I mean, Warrior meta could be back with Bluestone.
That's true. I mean, Trixtank is like the quintessential warrior support main, right? His Guan Yu basically won the launch tournament. His Hercules was amazing for so long that it got repeatedly first banned by anyone fighting them.
And he was a big proponent of Sun Wukong support as well, way back in the day.
It's true.
When it first came out. Athena,
To
Ram.
be fair, so was everyone else.
That's true. I mean, it was OP. Still pretty strong. Athena, Ram going to be going to the dual lane of Dignitas. New wall locked in. That marks the 7th game in a row that Paradigm has drafted New Wah. That's really why they're leaving these Isis and Januses up, because they don't care. They want Lawbster to be on this New Wah. It's a god that Paradigm's found a lot of success playing with.
Back into the ban phase, option to Paradigm. They're probably going to look out to take a jungler here. Now, wow, it's going to be Bastet, okay?
I'm really surprised that Bastet's being taken out. I know it's a target ban here against FrostiaK, but at the same time, Bastet's been played, I believe, 10 times in the Pro League, and only Xing has found a single win on her.
Yeah, 5%, or I'm sorry, 9% pick rate. That's kind of crazy. Freya going to be taken away. Smart, I think. Funball's Freya is pretty nuts.
Pick going to Paradigm here. First pick of the second half. Still looking for a Hunter. Also, potentially a support or Soul Lane. Still not exactly sure where that Sun Wukong is going. Funballer going to be playing Anhur, though.
So no major hard carries on the side of Paradigm so far. Everyone kind of playing for that mid-game. Their final pick, which looks like to be their support, actually, unless Sun Wukong is going to be a flex pick, would need to be some type of carry potential. In this situation, especially with that Hunbot, I would really like to see Xaliea pick Bakasura.
We could.
I think Baka fits perfectly into this.
I mean, he's also going to have the matchup, right? As Hunbat's locked in, Dignitas, they're looking for a Soul Laner, and he's going to know exactly what he's going to be playing into. You talked about the Raw. That matchup may not be favorable, but it's going to be Bellona in the Soul Lane.
Safe. Very smart. Now that kind of shrinks away the Bakasura pick as well. She disarms him. She has block stack. She shuts down pretty much all of Butcher Blades, which is going to make it very hard to pick that type of assassin, that auto attack based assassin. Instead, it will be Isis, Nuwa, likely going to solo.
No. This is Xaliea.
Do you think Xaliea?
Xaliea has been playing Isis solo all of the fall split. I believe this will be his third game on it.
Nuwa support. No, it's going to be Wukong.
Pecky's is flipping out right now. I'll play Nuwa anywhere. Actually, not this Nuwa. Old Wah.
Shout out to the Shake and Bake.
Yeah, so Bellona versus Isis here. Isis has a lot to deal with Bellona's Bludgeon early on.
Right.
It's likely to see Bellona max out that Scourge because it will be getting canceled out. I mean, on cooldown.
I mean, she's got Silence, she's got Spirit Ball, right? Dispel Magic will not only stop her from doing it, but probably get some of the protections off the creep to absorb some of the damage afterwards as well. This was a good pick. I like this a lot, and, you know, not many people are doing this, you know, Mage in the solo lane. Xaliea could be in trouble early game, though. I would really like to see an invade here from Dignitas. Early game, Hunbot has potential for kills. Bellona's very hard to get away from. And then, of course, they have ShadowNightmare as well. If they decide to go into the right side when Wingust has already been activated, she's a sitting duck. She will die.
Yeah, and Xaliea has been starting with this purple pot. I mean, every single game, it's purple pot, 5 potions. He's looking for sustain. He knows that he'll have enough with the mana buff and with his Vampiric Shroud.
Right.
So he can play this very aggressive style where he grabs the purple pot and has 5 health potions, which means he can actually trade out with warriors. That's one of the big weaknesses of solo lane mages, that they're just there to play safe. They're not trying to trade out their opponent, but with 5 health potions, it allows them to.
We have an invade, but it's on the other side. I don't know that FrezzOO has spotted this.
They might just be looking for mid camps.
I don't think so. I think they're looking for blood here.
They actually went around the ward, too, knowing that Dignitas had warded there, so
they don't know.
Dignitas has no vision on this.
They don't know at all. No, and you're right. They're going to go for mid camps, just trying to keep the area safe.
They might. I don't think they're going to their attack speed buff, though. I think they're going to stop Dignitas's, yes.
This is smart. They need to wait a little bit while longer.
Oh, no,
they're looking, the rotation.
They're looking to fight.
Yeah, they got this.
It's Sun Wukong support. You have to fight.
FrezzOO notices it early. And they're going to, no, they're not going to try to steal. They're just going to reset this, force away that experience early, and maybe fight for it later. They're already at an advantage with their red buff still being up in the neutral camp with the mids being taken down on their side. So smart play for the start on Paradigm.
And with Wukong having this blue stone, I mean, Funballer's not going to have to expend any mana. All his mana can be used to try and poke the opponents down. Wukong can almost full clear by himself. A couple auto attacks would secure it. QvoFred able to grab one of those Harpies. The other one's still up, though, and it did go to Paradigm.
Giving level 3 to Lawbster already. Bottom side, it looks like Paradigm did make the successful invade. Takes away the purple buff. They've got to be careful here, though. They have great push potential. I love the fact that he used Ox there to just clear up as much as possible. Disperse in for the body block. They're going to try to trade away by losing some health, but gaining that experience and gold. Now we see a rotation from Athena.
No, she's just looking in the jungle. Trixtank already under a half, though. He does have a significant amount of potions, so he will be fine. And Dignitas trying to get an early advantage in this lane. Need to get the push going against this Wukong on her.
I'm surprised that we just saw FrostiaK try to box the Thor, and even more surprised that Thor didn't try to reciprocate, given the fact that Warrior's Madness at that point had been giving him a lot of damage. Oh, bird form, wow.
I almost thought iRens might dash in there. If he was able to catch that bird, probably wouldn't have been a kill, but at least a heavy amount of poke.
As expected, Variety having some trouble, and yes, leveling Scourge. Going to be trying to just lock the wave down as fast as possible, disarm the creeps to make sure his wave is somewhat consistent. The issue, Wind Gust, a little bit stronger.
And that purple pot. I mean, Xaliea is almost full clearing the wave right now at level 4. 2 points into the Wind Gust.
Can we actually see
and Variety's
Isis?
Stuck in there.
I want to see if she's going to level her ult. You'll notice she hasn't taken anything. If by the next wave he doesn't have the need for... Oh, here we go. Humbots is coming over. I was going to say, doesn't have the need for ult. It's likely we're going to see a third level, but no, he recognizes the rotation, and he's going to put a point into his ultimate, probably trying to bait this out.
And you can see that rotation still in there. I mean,
Yeah,
FrostiaK's not 5. He can't fight into this. If FrostiaK was 5, maybe it's a fight he could have taken, but instead he's just wasting his time sitting around this corner. I'm pretty sure he's in range of the creeps anyway. Yep, you can see FrostiaK just hit level 5. Thor making his way to mid lane. No, here comes the blink in, but Xalia's under tower.
He's fine. There should be no trouble
Actually, he could get turned on.
Nice. Oh my god, he actually died. He got the 1-for-1 though, but first blood does go to Dig. I'm very surprised. Xaliea just tried to take an aggressive route and fight instead of just running towards the back of his circle of protection. Got a little greedy there. Yes, they do earn the kill, but the first blood drops and he lost his potion. That's a really big win for Variety.
Yeah, the potion I think is the big thing. And, you know, if Xaliea had secured that first blood, a different story we're speaking.
Right.
But not having that 500 extra gold, it's going to hurt him in this lane. And we're likely to see Variety, if he can get going, start to abuse Xaliea in this lane.
With that, there's about a 500 gold difference between the solo laners. Granted, they're different classes, which means it's not going to hurt Xaliea all that much, but Bellona does invest into a full teleport. Full? No boots?
Is it Xaliea?
I'm sorry, but no, Bellona.
Oh, yes.
Full teleport.
Wanted to get back to lane. I guess he's assuming that Xaliea is going to be out pushing him. And the funny thing, too, right, is Variety got that first blood, but he's dead even in gold with Xaliea right now. I mean, that's the amount of lane pressure that Xaliea had. Variety almost got no gold from those minions. Mid camp's going to be started up here. Trixtank actually rotating in as well. Sitting at level 6, FrostiaK only level 5. Here comes the rotation from QvoFred onto the solo lane. Variety, he has no idea it's there.
He's got Eagle's Rally, though, and the stun's going to miss Qvo. No follow-up. Variety will stay safe and sound for now.
FrostiaK going to take a lot of poke, and that's what Trixtank is going to be doing with this Sun Wukong support. We always talk about how he likes to rotate to mid lane, likes to make these aggressive plays with warriors or with very aggressive supports like Bacchus, and you could just see every time Magic Cudgel is off cooldown, he's using it to poke someone out and already making his way into Team Dignitas' jungle.
Thor's going up. Let's see what he chooses to do. Will they take the aggressive route? No, Thor's going to land back at his speed buff. A 90-second cooldown, but I don't see him using it anytime soon, so that shouldn't hurt him too much. In fact, gets a pretty quick rotation to his speed buff out of it, so not all is lost.
Trixtank once again making a rotation to the mid lane, just throwing down as much poke as he can. And right now, Team Dignitas, they're actually down 300 gold despite securing first blood, which means Paradigm, their farming has been so efficient. And you can take a look at these last hits in the soul lane, right? Xaliea, he died, and he still is last hitting more than Bellona. I mean, it's going to be hard for Variety to get into this game, especially against an Isis who's so lane dominant.
Remember, though, a lot of this comes down to the fact that the 450 pot had been wasted, so you have to take some of that gold away, on top of the fact that with the extra assist, or despite the death, QvoFred does have a small lead because we did have FrostiaK go back to the base for, X amount of seconds. This gave Qvo enough time to rotate around the map and look for extra ganks. Ganks that obviously were not successful, but at the same time, he still had the license to do so without falling behind. Now, as for this is kind of crazy. Yeah,
they don't realize that QvoFred so deep in their jungle, hits the double tap onto FrezzOO. ShadowNightmare just trying to get out of this fight, and now FrostiaK, Fear No Evil is coming through, but he's in the middle of 4. He jumps away. Wukong is going to be chasing him. Trixtank trying to find the kill, and he does secure it.
Rens from the sky finds a big one right there. 1 for 1 so far as it trades again. Variety's rotation was great, and Lawbster gets picked. FrostiaK in some trouble here, or rather Trixtank's in some trouble. He's crippled, he's caught, and he's down.
Dignitas, so far, a 3 for 1. They're going to start up Gold Fury. QvoFred, no ult. Actually, his ult is available. It was on cooldown for the start of this fight, and 4 players super low, and they're just going to reset this. Smart play from Dignitas, recognizing...
Don't be a coward, Qvo.
Who's he going to land on? Rens?
Oh, never mind. Be a coward. Run away.
Mid camps, he could get taunted out here, but actually FrezzOO pulling trigger a little bit too early. Xalia's rotated to this fight. Variety finds the kill. Snipes are coming through. Isis is going to be fine, but honestly, QvoFred, although he died, he actually wasted enough of Dignitas' time that they couldn't do Gold Theory, and I think that's the key here.
True. I mean, it is a victory in that regard, but it was only worth about, what, 750 at this point? Like 1,000? It's really not that big of a deal.
Worth more than his death.
Right, it was worth more than his death, but at the farming rate as well, forced Xaliea out of the lane. And what's funny is I kind of judged the full teleport, but that full teleport won them that fight because he was able to get there on time. Xaliea couldn't rotate.
No, and you saw Xaliea finally come in. It was afterwards. FrostiaK going to be jumping on Xaliea, slowing him a bit, and actually a full commit Variety going on to Xaliea. Xaliea already under half before he pops his ultimate. That's going to be ultimate for ultimate, but...
FrostiaK's ultimate wasn't up for 3 seconds. That's rough.
That would have been a kill.
That's harsh. FrezzOO going to hold down the mid lane here. ShadowNightmare walks back in. ShadowNightmare will miss.
Look at this invade on right-hand side, trying to get the blue buff. Qvo's already secured it, though. Going to be hammering over the wall. And
I thought he was going to pick that up.
He'll be safe.
He almost picked that up.
By accident?
Yeah.
Xaliea would have been raging at him. He's like, I have no mana potions. What are you doing?
He's got a sentry ward, though.
That's true.
You see that dig ward sitting right next to Qvo right now. Will Xaliea counter that area? No, he doesn't know it's there.
I mean, look at the dig wards in total. They're so aggressive and right now giving so much vision. Variety going to be turned on with FrostiaK. He's going to be back. Defender of Olympus being charged, and FrostiaK, he's going to pick up Xaliea. Snipe just barely misses QvoFred. Probably wanted to kill them anyway, but a lot of damage there. And now Dig continuing to be aggressive right now. They're in control of this game.
I love that rotation from Janus because even though he didn't have any intention to fully commit to the dive, by using the through space and time there, it allows his team to get back to mid lane as fast as possible because the old adage goes, if you gank solo, you lose the Gold Fury. You actually saw iRens immediately go to gold, but they knew that with Janus' ability to bring his team back to that side of the map, he couldn't do it. He has to escape from it, and with that, another win for Dig as they pick up another kill.
And even then, right, the teleport from Variety was up as well. This teleport, the loomingness of it, I think is the most important thing. And I really do think we're going to see Variety be using it often. When team fights start to break out, I think it will be Bellona being extra man there. And
Variety's on a
stuck in solo.
Variety's 402 right now.
He's been kill stealing. he's been stealing so many kills. It's not even funny.
I mean, he hasn't. Like all of the
I know
the last team, the big team fight that they won was strictly because of Variety's amazing rotation.
Trixtank going to be taking some poke. He should be fine, actually.
Jesus.
Wow. That was a lot more damage than I thought. ShadowNightmare must have pin boots finished. Yeah, and you can already see him starting on his second item. It's going to be penetration, likely to be Spear the Magus.
As opposed to, it looks like Lawbster is going to be going right into Book of Thoth for a power spike.
And once he gets that online, Fire Shards, they're going to start swinging, especially once he gets pinned online as well. QvoFred trying to find members out in the jungle, but actually gets caught himself, forced to beats. Doesn't hammer through the wall. FrostiaK's going deep, but he's actually going to jump over the wall, slowing down QvoFred. Defender of Olympus, one more hit. QvoFred actually might get out. ShadowNightmare's diving deep. Here comes the Fire Shards. FrostiaK one hit away. FrezzOO 2 hits away, but Funballer can't find it.
Neither of them.
0 for 0.
Yeah, that was really close. Now, what happened there is FrostiaK decides to ult, but he ults not only too late, but in an awkward spot where he couldn't follow. Thor baits very well, gets out, and then immediately we see Funballer with one of the hottest Anhur ults I think we've ever seen. The amount of spears hit in that fight was insane, but it wasn't enough to actually get the kill. FrostiaK gets low, but not low enough. He dives into the creeps to make sure he has body block potential, and with the impale already down, there was no way for him to body block through. So with that, very smartly, Funball decides, I'm going to turn to FrezzOO, maybe I can get a kill here. FrezzOO, of course, has preemptive strike up, is able to dash through the creeps as well. Funball forced to retreat and wash out the fight, and like you said, nothing for nothing.
Not something we see too often with so many players full committing ultimates. Fear Evil came out. Taking a look here, Variety going to be trying to steal away Xalia's blue. Xaliea actually going to get teleported onto. FrostiaK going to slow him, but just trying to keep him off of this for now. The rotation from Qvo coming in, and same with Lawbster, but FrostiaK, he's just going to walk away with the stolen buff here.
Just a little bit too slow in the rotation. Had Qvo been about 2 seconds sooner, he would have been able to hit that stun and possibly set something up there. But Variety's doing a great job in this lane. Bellona does not have an easy time against Isis if Isis gets an early lead on her. And with the fact that they dove for that kill, gave it to Variety, and allowed him to start rotating and being this menace, it's put him in a really good position for the mid game, because now, like we talked about, he's 4-0-2. It looks like he's going to be going into Heart Ward Amulet. I like that.
Going straight into the defense. I mean, his base abilities right now are chunking. There's no need to build in a further damage. Just make sure you can get more abilities off in a fight. And look at this, Variety going to get stunned out. But I mean, if Xaliea didn't hit that silence, he would have been chunked there pretty hard.
Yeah, I mean, he's level 14. That's a guaranteed max level bludgeon. FrostiaK trying to get out here. I don't know that Fire Shards is going to be enough.
QvoFred's in the air.
Oh, it's close. Double tap not going to hit.
The Fear No Evil.
Beautiful ultimate in return. FrostiaK will finally go down. Can they trade the junglers out? They're going to try for it, and it looks like, yeah, iRens is going to find the kill.
Such a great combination coming out from Paradigm, and I don't know if FrostiaK's jump was down, but he was so slow to pull the trigger on getting out of that. Took so much just free poke
The ult,
from
though,
Trixtank.
so cute.
It was great.
iRens taking a lot of damage here as the minions luckily switched targets to FrezzOO. Had they stuck on iRens and a Shining Metal come through, that could have been a kill given the fact that Lawbster's sitting on a pretty decent amount of damage at this stage.
I mean, if he double tap, that's the thing with New Wall, right? You can explode the minions for damage, but the real burst comes from when you hit the opponent with Shining Metal. A taunt, though, into the tower. Funballer going to take a little bit of poke, jump away quickly. FrezzOO took a lot in response as well. Just going to trade that out. But when you hit the Shining Metal and the minion explosion on a player, that's when they get bursted.
Get like 2 or 3 minions at the same time.
Oh my god, I'm already mad.
It's like, I just took 80%, guys. I mean, she is probably the most luck-based god in the game, right? Because you cannot control the minions.
Okay, you just said a god with a global skill shot that you can't miss is luck-based. just think about that. Just think about that.
Oh, come on. You know what I mean.
I know. iRens going to actually dash forward. QvoFred going to hit the hammer before he can get to the sky. A nice pick in favor of Paradigm. Team Dignitas, we're controlling the pace of this game for the first 8 to 9 minutes, but since then it's been a slow, steady gain. And some fights breaking out, but not too many deaths.
You'll notice that Trixtank 210 has a 2-level advantage, by the way, over FrezzOO, but is still about 300 gold behind.
Yeah, but he's top player damage because Bluestone.
I'm sorry, is he really?
Yes. I mean, he's been walking in a mid and throwing out Magic Cudgel on cooldown. I mean, it's been nonstop. He's put so much poke. That's the only reason they were able to pick up FrostiaK.
That's true.
Because FrostiaK's just like, oh, I'll just take a Cudgel. I'll just take another Oh my god, I'm half-life. What is going on? And then QvoFred just dives him. Unfortunately, trades out, but...
So full teleport be damned here. He might be able to make it back, but this tower is looking all but lost.
I mean, it's a 500 gold tower, and...
Yeah, he's not even going to use the teleport. I like this call, because if he does use the teleport, he's locked into a lane without a tower. Also, that was cute, but maybe ineffective. If he doesn't use it, and the tower doesn't go down as it happenstance right there, he's going to be able to still rotate. This puts him in a much better situation, and it was a small gamble for the 500 gold that was going to get taken, in the next couple waves regardless, to allow him to still have that rotation ability. That was a really good play by Variety.
It was great here. Dignitas going to be holding their ward, and look at that timing on the ward. You just see a sentry ward placed as the other one was falling off, like the same second, 3 seconds afterwards. FrezzOO looking for a taunt. He's actually going to grab Funballer, and now we're going to see Janus put out a good amount of poke. Half-life to Funballer.
Janus, man.
I want to see Dig force an issue right here because you take a look. Variety has teleport. Give up the tier 1 tower that's only 1 hit, as well as Xalia's gone into Warlock Sash. It's only 30 stacks. You have this window. He didn't go Ethereal, force a fight, and that looks like it is what Dig wants to do right now.
Frez took a lot of damage there, and we don't see Variety rotating all that quickly. He's backing to the base.
He's going to buy an item and I think teleport in.
Yeah, maybe Heavy Hammer.
I think the call was off.
But no, he's not going to go for it. They decide to say, hey, we're going to forget this for now. It looks like we may have... Did they lose vision control?
It looks like QvoFred was able to sentry out. Trixtank going to take a lot of poke, and Fear No Evil, they're trying to burst Trix. Qvo's in the air, but Trix is already dead. Who's Qvo going to land on
coward.
in the middle of 3?
That's going to use both of his movement abilities.
Dignitas, I think this is their window to force. Variety's finally backing. He has teleport. They need to take this advantage, but it doesn't look like they're going to. They don't want to force a Gold Fury fight. They're just going to be playing it safe for now.
See, this is the difference to me between Dig and Paradigm. Because if this was Paradigm's situation, they would have been rushing that Gold Fury down. Maybe not to get the Gold Fury per se, just to make sure that they're trying to fight into, or Dignitas is trying to fight into Paradigm when they can't possibly win it. Without their support right now, the person that's doing the most damage on their team, right? Like, there's no way they're going to win a team fight.
QvoFred's ult was down,
exactly.
And as well, Variety had teleport open. I mean, it's a one-hit tier 1 tower. It's fine to give it up if you can force a fight at Gold Fury.
But they're going to play some wards down. They'll clear up mid-camps. They're going to play the safest game possible. Go. Wait, they're going to go for this after the fact?
I don't know. Variety's doing blue buff, though. He hasn't teleported in. He needs to teleport in soon because otherwise Paradigm's going to smell this out.
Can we check out FrostiaK? How long on the ultimate? That's a big deal here.
Through space and time.
Perfect.
Paradigm stole it.
Oh, my God.
I mean, Paradigm just stole it. I mean, Dignitas let that happen. iRens already low. Fire Shard's going to be cleaning him up.
Oh,
and now QvoFred, his ult is back. Who's he going to be landing on? It's going to be FrezzOO. They're going to try and lock him out. Pillar's not going to be placed properly. QvoFred misses a wall to try and cut FrezzOO off. But, I mean, that's just a Gold Fury in favor of Paradigm.
Yeah.
Dignitas just let it happen. Fear No Evil came out so late. Variety stayed in Soul Link trying to defend a tier 1 tower that's going to be lost anyway. And Dignitas are just handing the game back to Paradigm.
The worst part is then Variety back to the base and then didn't even use the teleport to get back to the tower he was so desperately trying to keep alive. That was a huge swing. Zidane to the graphs.
With Trixtank taking that mid tower, you could see that swing. Funballer going to finally take out FrezzOO, who is trying to defend. It looks like something here. And
Adonis, that is the harshest drop I think I've ever seen.
For this early in the game, when it was what, 1 kill? And it was within like a minute, it was 1 kill, 3 towers, and the Gold Fury. Dignitas were in control of the game. They had the numbers advantage, taking out Trixtank, and I don't know. They just kind of dropped. That's just unfortunate.
They waited too long for the Gold Fury. Fear No Evil didn't come out fast enough. FrostiaK, whether it was not on cooldown or he didn't pull the trigger.
I think it was still on cooldown. I think it had just came back up, to be fair.
You know, these are things that you have to consider. They should have stopped DPS in the Gold Fury. They should have waited until they had a better position to get it off. The communication wasn't there. And, you know, I haven't seen them play at LAN for a long time, but I can tell you, the last time that I saw this, you know, core Team Dignitas roster of, you know, FrezzOO, ShadowNightmare, and FrostiaK, I can tell you there's not a lot of communication. It was almost always Half Devil that was doing all the talking.
Way back at the EU Regionals there.
That's right.
Trixtank, ShadowNightmare already half-lifed. No Fire Shards available right now, but, I mean, ShadowNightmare taking so much poke, and Trixtank continuing to sit at the top of the player damage charts. He's 3,000 above any member of Team Dignitas, and QvoFred, he smells blood. ShadowNightmare recognizes it, has to portal out, and Dignitas just trying to defend their tier 2 tower.
Taking some damage there, Shining Metal, and then minions afterwards. So they're going to try to rush this in. It seems Xaliea is here. Circle of Protection is available if they decide to go for it.
Dash in by FrezzOO here, but Paradigm, they were already backing off, not able to get a taunt off successfully.
I like that Xaliea used his Wing Gust as a movement speed buff to get himself back to lane faster to maximize the experience gain. Another double tap. ShadowNightmare is going to take a 4th.
Just keeps walking in a lane and getting poked. And this poke comp that Paradigm has is working out very well. While Nuwa doesn't have the best poke, if it does connect, it's insane burst, right? I mean, it's just the combination. Xaliea and Variety going to be duking it out of here over in the Soul Lane. Variety looks like getting the better of it for now, but it's a rough look because I really think Dignitas, they need Variety to be in these team fights. He has the teleport, but hasn't made great use out of it outside of the first engagement we saw.
Nice Spirit Ball coming out. What that Spirit Ball did was very interesting because he allows his creeps to take more damage from the archers before Variety can actually use his Scourge to hit them and heal himself back up, it would have been a minor amount of healing, maybe 100 total, but instead he takes 200 or 300 and then doesn't gain that instead, so it's a 400 health swing. Another smart play by Xaliea.
FrezzOO and FrostiaK trying to defend their ward here, but they could get turned on. This might be a fight that Team Dignitas could fight, but it doesn't look like it. There's the Fear No Evil Trixtank he takes to the sky, and Dignitas right now are on full retreat. Fire Shot's going to be cleaning up FrezzOO there. Lawbster once again with a great skill shot securing that one.
You sarcastic guy, you. QvoFred trying to escape here will take only one shot from the tower. Nice use of Mjolnir's there. He'll be able to get out pretty safely.
Dignitas just lost 2 trying to defend a counter ward.
You know what? The worst part about that, I thank you for reminding me, is that do you know how the ward died? Athena taunted.
Oh, and then he auto-attacked it.
The auto-attack hit the ward because he wasn't close enough to the taunt.
And this is the difference in Europe, right? Paradigm recognizing that they're 2 men up. They're going to be forcing the Fire Giant. Even if they don't want to commit to it, they're going to be looking for a fight, but they're ignoring Variety for now. There's actually the Circle of Protection. Variety, he's going to go out there. He was forced to ult over in the Soul Lane earlier. This is actually really close. This could go to anyone. Paradigm, they're going to be the one to secure it, though.
Variety's going to go down as well. Oh, Eagles Rally just barely coming up. Can he escape the Wrath? No! The final hit of Wingus gave him enough speed to catch up and get it. FrezzOO trying to get out of here.
Gonna get knocked up
Perfect
here.
disperse. Yeah. And done. Body blocks all around. Minions used just in case. Another 2 kills for Xaliea.
And Xaliea right now double stacking, has 100 stacks on his Warlock Sash. I mean, Dignitas had a window to really abuse this because Xaliea invested in Purple Pot and got abused early and focused early. He was down a little bit in gold. He didn't get that Warlock Sash finished until about 12, 13 minutes. And then Dignitas just let him farm up, and now he's double stacking, and you can see the insane amount of damage that just the Spirit Ball's doing at this point.
You know, as an analyst, I'm usually pretty harsh on Variety, but I mean, I got to give him credit this game. He's 4-1-2. He hasn't seen a kill in a while, but either is his team, right? But his only death was him almost stealing Fire Giant. Right?
Oh no, he had to do it, and that was so close.
Really great game.
Paradigm almost dropped that. It was close.
But Gold Fury going to go to Paradigm. Let's go to the graphs. Just add 1750 to this, guys, because it's pretty much guaranteed.
Yeah, this is going to extend their gold lead to 20 or 6,200, 10,000 in experience. That's the big one for me right now. Xaliea, first level 20 on the board. He's just been allowed to farm up so much. QvoFred has 2 levels on his opponent. Lawbster has 1 level. Trixtank, 3 levels on FrezzOO. Can we take a look at player damage to see if he's finally been surpassed by Xaliea? No.
What in
Xalea's not even close.
Xalea's not even close.
And Lawbster has an ult that hits all 4 people that can't miss.
And, you know, I love the Soul Eater coming out. I actually expected some Wukong to get it, but Anhur getting it is just as fine. They have 3 physicals that can use the 5 people that can use the protection, and 3 physicals that can use the power spike. So really smart pickup there.
I mean, everyone can use the protection.
Yeah.
You can always use an extra 10 physical protection. Blink in by Trixtank over the wall. Was that a blink on a Sun Wukong?
Yes, sir.
We were just joking about this yesterday. Was it you and me?
Yeah.
Like, we'll never go. Why would you buy Blink on Sun Wukong? I'm pretty sure that's what we were saying.
When you're 10,000 or 6,000 gold in the lead, you know, you blink in.
The support Wukong has 1 active, and it's Blink at 23 minutes. The support Wukong.
I would have expected Shell at this point.
Or at least a Heavenly or a Creeping, anything.
Another
but there's no need. I mean, they've been controlling the pace of the game ever since, you know, that Gold Fury steal.
Yeah, and there's nothing for them to do on the map right now except for rush down these Phoenixes. They still got about 90 seconds left on Fire Giant, which might not be enough for them to want to commit. So it looks like they're going to strip out the jungle back. Let's see gold in hand here as the team starts to get back. We already saw 3 of them spend. Yeah, but look, I'm sorry. Is that almost a full rod?
3,000
Yeah, he sold the Vamp Shroud. There's Ratatouille.
And right now, Xalea's farm is absurd. I mean, can we take a look at GPM just to take a quick look here? Because Xaliea was the first to die in this match, still holding a 500 GPM above, and he's just above anyone right now. And he's got max actives, double stacked, and a Rod of Tahuti. At 24 minutes.
I mean, the only thing he's lacking is penetration, but given the fact that we have a spear on Nua who can start the fight off, you know, by applying some penetration, and then he has a little bit from his boots, right? I mean, he's in a really good spot. Let's actually check. Oh, wait. Oh, my God. More damage. Let's check out Isis here. Let's see what that number actually says.
It's probably about 400. Oh, 500 with the Fire Giant buff. She has the Fire Giant buff.
And, yeah, I think Blue as well. Doesn't even have the red buff.
Doesn't even need it at this point. Paradigm, they're going to be splitting 2 different ways, forcing Dignitas to try and defend 2 Phoenixes at once. This is, at a high-level player, this is what you want to do. You don't want Dignitas to defend as 5. You want to take 2 smaller fights. Dash in by FrezzOO, looking for a taunt. Not going to find anything, though. And actually, Dignitas, they're getting split as Trixtank is just forcing them all off this Phoenix. It's going to be falling, and a double tap hitting on 3 players.
Right there, Trix blinked into the backline. He didn't get the Tiger Stun that time, but like you said, it still pushed them far enough away from the Phoenix, and as the Fire Giant ends, they're able to take down this Phoenix and ensure they have control over the map. I'm expecting that they're going to try to retreat. No, they're going to keep
I think
going.
they're baiting here. Yeah, Variety, his ultimate's still available, so he should be fine for a little bit. But he actually ults in place. Dignitas, they want to take this fight through space and time, coming through. FrostiaK securing Lawbster, double tap, swinging. FrezzOO getting really low in the back. iRens takes to the skies before he can fall. Variety trying to defend iRens. Snipes coming through. Xaliea secures Rins as he lands, and so far, it's a 2-for-1. Dignitas, they thought they wanted to fight, but apparently they don't. Paradigm find 3.
ShadowNightmare looks to be able to escape here. Whether they take the left Phoenix or go for Fire Giant, it looks like they're going to go for the left Phoenix. They have a 2v4 right now with only Lawbster falling. Granted, that hurts, but considering they're not going to have those minions. But at the same time, does it matter? Look at Trix.
Just the Janus threshold, though. I mean, that Tiger was moving so slow. It's like...
Tigers are supposed to be quick. It's always the one I never expect to get slowed. Like an Ox I could see going slow, right? But the Tiger, ShadowNightmare gets pinned against the wall. Oh, my God.
I thought that was going to secure it, but the beads coming through from him just in time, able to get through his portal. And right now, Paradigm in full control of this game. It looks like a 1,200 gold lead. Trixtank still sitting atop the player damage charts. Not only is he sitting atop the player damage charts, but he's actually extended his lead from 1,000 over Lawbster to 4,000 more damage than Lawbster in that last fight.
He knows that he's the support, right?
No, he doesn't.
All right.
Actually, he did. He built defensive items. He's literally got Bluestone and boots.
That's
what else do you need, though?
I mean, no. I mean, you don't gotta pitch that to me, man. Bluestone boots Wukong is life.
Look at Funballer feeding, though. Right below Janus in damage. Disappointed Funballer.
Kind of down there. And he's gotten some really gnarly ults, too.
Some great stuns, too. Almost picked up ShadowNightmare in that last fight.
Yeah. But, I mean, he went back. You know, the Rage is online completely now. He's got Sprint 2 as well. So he'll have a little bit more damage in the next fights. Fire Giant has spawned here. Ren's on the wrong side of the map. A guaranteed 5v. Looks like
I don't think Dignitas want to force this. I mean... They had probably one of the better engagements they could have had there in the mid lane. Fire Giant had just fallen off. Paradigm, they weren't expecting the fight. They were all split up, but still not able to lock their targets down.
That's why I thought they would fight, because how are they going to fight into a team that just spent a bunch of gold and got Fire Giant?
We'll have to see. It's going to be rough for them.
Let's take a look at Xaliea here once again, because he has red buff this time.
703.
700 plus. If you can just
Spirit
hover
balls
on Spirit Ball real quick. As you guys can see, 70% of his magical power. That's a really big deal. I mean, his combo at this point is doing thousands. Literally thousands.
I mean, if he can get a next item, the percentage... Why can't I... Soul Reaver, excuse me. 15% of someone's life. I mean, Spirit Ball is going to be turning into Spirit Bomb. Pressure on the mid lane. FrostiaK takes a Spirit Ball to the face. Can he get to the fountain in time? QvoFred's trying not to let him, but he will just in time. QvoFred trying to lock out Rins there. Crits coming through, but they're not doing anything. QvoFred's too tanky. Final Phoenix falls.
FrostiaK right there trying his best, but I mean, without using his ult, they had no control over the objective. The only thing remaining on this map for them to take is either Gold Fury or Titan, and I'm assuming at 28 minutes they're going to try to close this out.
Yeah, and Variety, he might die to Fire Shards here. Depends on the damage. If the double tap would have connected, might have been able to do it. Not going to be there. FrostiaK, he's going to fall, and at this point, it's just a matter of time. Paradigm, they're walking away with this one.
Frezzy needs to ult. I love this option here. Goes right into Variety, who's taking a lot of damage, though. That 25% damage reduction actually just kept him alive. Thor not letting him walk away completely, though. Variety a little bit farther to walk.
Double tap.
Oh, my God. Trixtank swinging so hard. Fire minions coming into the base here. Titan getting crippled. Under half.
Snipes coming through. 1,200. This is the Paradigm win that we really expected. Trixtank, though, on his... quote-unquote support Wukong.
Yeah, quote.
Quote.
Support
many
Wukong.
air quotes on the support there. Not the one-sided win It was actually Dignitas being very aggressive early on. I believe they went up 8-4 or 8-2 in kills, but they had the opportunities to try and abuse their advantage. They didn't elect to take them, and it really came down to Trixtank there stealing away. It was perfectly timed. He actually stole it away with a Tiger Stun of all things. Like, Trixtank stole the Gold Fury with a Tiger Stun. Not even Ox trying to knock people up. Like, he knew. Like, all they had to do was body block the Tiger Stun.
I want to go back, though, to the very beginning of picks and bans when I say Janus was my favorite pick for ShadowNightmare because his movement's incredible and he's basically invincible. No deaths.
Okay.
No deaths on
highest
ShadowNightmare.
Damage on his team as well.
Very impressive game for him.
But
here's the first blood.
Yeah, and this one was actually very close.
Xaliea got a little
dive
greedy
super
here.
deep. Yeah, because he could have walked back, but he's actually standing and fighting.
Yeah, he's auto-attacking. Right, that caused him to lose a lot in the early game. Variety actually was able to get full teleport, rotate around, and the small sign of victory that was in the beginning for Dignitas was 100% on that solo laner, getting that first blood. Xaliea able to bring it back though. Variety made a few bad decisions in the mid game, trying to protect that tier 1 tower instead of rotating.
I think that was team calls though. I mean, a lot of it I think comes down to Variety. You don't need to teleport. We're going to secure this. We have the Fear No Evil. Not there, though. QvoFred going to be player of the game. He played a fantastic Thor. I might have given it to Trix with the Gold Fury steal and the Wukong support, but QvoFred also made some very big plays, big rotations coming in.
Yeah, big time.
And actually baited a lot. He dove pretty deep.
He saved the Gold Fury as well.
Yes.
That Gold Fury wouldn't have been stolen by Trix if it had already been dead because Qvo's, But look at this, diving right in, setting up a ton of damage for Anhur, and the double tap before Rama's able to take it to the sky, diving back in, avoiding the ultimate from FrostiaK, and then this. So greedy.
And to be honest here, QvoFred baited a lot because he actually picked up a third item, Hide the Urgent.
Right.
It's only 2,400 with a reduced gold amount. He was able to stack it up very quickly because Paradigm were winning. And that's a significant amount of health, a ton of protections on both sides. And, we actually saw FrostiaK many times try and commit onto QvoFred, who's just able to beads out of it and get away or just be so tanky that the damage wasn't there.